Hi everybody, I'm Ruechel. Welcome to this portion of the PCS Journal. We sit down and chat with the Superintendent of Pinellas County Schools, Dr. Michael Grego. Dr. Grego, good to see you.
Great to see you too, Al.
We do have to mention his tie. Can you get a look at that tie and lift it up so we can see the TV? That's a Rays tie?
It's a Rays tie. Opening season opens this weekend, and we certainly wish the Rays great luck this season.
Yeah, and the Rays do a lot of things with the school district, and we really thank you for all their participation. All right, let's start talking about money matters. The legislature's in session. A lot of different ideas about what education should get, and one of the shockers is more than $200 million and a push by Richard Corcoran to add a whole bunch more charter schools.
Right. There's a tremendous difference between the budget between the Senate and the House, and honestly, the governor's budget is right now looking the best of all times. I mean, so it really is a wide separation between the budgets. Very concerning, especially to school districts. We went through this once before, and they ended up having special sessions and things like that. The problem with that with us is that we start our planning next month, and we start issuing units, and we anticipate the end of the session the first week of May, knowing what that budget looks like, and start to formulate a budget. Nothing changes for us in the timeline. Our draft budget has to be done by law by the end of July, and budget approved by the first week of September, but our schools are starting in the first week of August. So that's the urgency here. We certainly hope that the end product is more towards the Senate and the governor's projection to support education.
You know, I've been covering politics a long time in the state of Florida. I don't ever think I've seen that quite big a division, given that the Senate wants to give $680 billion or so to colleges, or I say million rather, to colleges, and the House side wants to cut $120 million. So it's like, what the heck?
Yeah, very different. So this is the time, you know, I always say to parents, this is the time to let your voice be heard in terms of our local delegation and legislators in terms of what they could do and what they believe is the right investment to make for our students.
Even before the session got going, a lot of conversation about testing and trying to cut back on the number of tests. I think there were 2 or 3 bills that were floating out there that had to do with testing. What do you know about those? Yeah,
there are a few bills floating out there with testing. The most prominent one was Senate Bill 964 that was introduced by Senator Bill Mumford. That bill has not been heard, unfortunately, and Senator Mumford's components of that bill was worked on with superintendents and over a year of work. And I appreciate Senator Lee's comments that were recently made about that we need to take and seriously look at the components of that bill and bring them into whatever bill is going to be heard at this point. The major components of that bill was to go back to paper and pencil assessments to reduce the testing window by near 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The other components was to actually eliminate or disconnect some of the EOCs, end of course exams, in high schools to shrink that window and reduce the number of tests as our students are taking AP, dual enrollment, final exams, our final exams, and so forth. And really to do a job in disconnecting these high stakes tests to the teacher eval because it's just not working with the VAM scores.
Now, can county school boards just do their own thing, or are they under state mandates to do all of these tests? Because I know there's been a lot of talk about, well, Hillsborough County and some of these other districts, and Pasco in particular had taken some measures already, but do they have to have state approval to take more?
Well, for the state tests, yes, they do. I mean, when a state by statute is reflective that you must give an end of course exam in biology and U.S. history and many of these other courses, is that has to be done.
Yeah.
And so we're just looking for ways to shrink that window. As I mentioned before, when we started the FCAT journey with state accountability, that testing window was 2 weeks, and now it's like 6 to 8 weeks. And we're still testing the same number of grades, Al. That hasn't changed. So what has changed?
And testing brings a lot of anxiety to kids. Of course, I was never anxious. I just always got sick the day of the test when I was a kid, but not suggesting that, okay? Let's move on. A lot of great things happening in Pinellas County Schools, and you know, we're not saying this just to fill up airtime because there are really good things that are going on. I want to go through some of those. Name one of the nation's great districts for great teachers. This is really great because we know we've got great teachers, but when you get national recognition, it always makes a big deal.
Yeah, ironically, the last few months, our school district, Pinellas County, has been recognized on a national level, and some of these things we are not seeking after, and so I want that to be clear. the National Council for Teacher Quality took it upon himself, a major project that was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates and many other foundations across the United States, to find districts across the United States that were great working places for high-performing teachers. And they took a look at they started this process by taking a look at the largest 120 school districts in the United States. They continued to whittle it down using about 400 data elements or indicators. It was over a year-long project. At the end of that process, 8 school districts stood, and we were one of those 8, and that's a big deal. And what that's saying is that the way we treat teachers, the compensation packages, the professional development, the openness, the relationship with our board, all of those things make this district, Pinellas County, a great place for great teachers and a place to grow. And so we were named as one of those 8, and I couldn't be more thrilled, and our board couldn't be more thrilled. A lot of that stems out of the Human Resources Department, and Paula Texel, our HR assistant superintendent, was key to this.
Great, congratulations to her as well. Ranked in the top 10 in the annual Digital School Districts Survey. What's that?
Digital education, as you know, is a huge thing that we're taking a look at more and more personalized methods of educating our students, and digital education, the use of technology is certainly not only here, but it has been here.
Yeah.
So we have been recognized as one of the top 10 in the nation for school districts using digital education or tools centered around technology to educate our students. And again, an outside entity coming in, examining over 300 school districts across the nation and saying the Pinellas County is doing a great job of using, and I'll give you an example of not only all of our smart boards in every single classroom, but our laptop computer initiatives, our Connect for Success, of our web-based instruction outside of the school day, our extended day program, and I can go on and on. These are all examples of how we are engaging and leveling the playing field when it comes to technology.
Because computers and cell phones and all those things they're more than toys. And the kids are there, of course, they teach us how to use them. They always do a great job with them. All right, let's talk about some students. So do you know where Benin is? You ever been to Benin?
No.
Well, I can tell you that Carson McGrail, a 7th grader at Clearwater Fundamental Middle School, I'll bet you where he knows where it is, because he was named the 2017 National Geography National Geographic State B semifinalist.
He
That's
was,
great.
or she was actually.
It's a she. Oh, I'm sorry.
Carson, yeah.
Yeah.
And the 7th grader, and this is like that spelling bee that we gather around on ESPN, but it deals with geography. And so Carson will be competing at the national level now. She's a semifinalist, and she'll be competing at the national level if she makes it. And so we're thrilled for her, and certainly proud of the school and everything else. And $50,000 to the winner. So
wow, that's
we'll
great.
take college scholarships. That'll go a long way.
And I'm sorry I called Carson a him. My bad.
Don't worry about it.
Look ahead. I'm sure she's going to do a great job. Do a great job, and if you win, I will come to your school and personally apologize, okay? That's great. Also, National Scholastic Arts Awards. We know that arts are very, very important in Pinellas County Schools. Always have been, always will be.
Yeah, you've interviewed and have done a great job at Sue Castleman here, and I have to brag about Sue. Sue does a tremendous job with our arts program, and this is an award where over 330,000 entries are submitted nationally, and about 1,600 are recognized. And we have 15 national medals this year, which is the largest number ever. And if you think about it in the percentage across the United States, it's heavily weighed to Pinellas County.
Yeah.
We view arts as a major portion of our curriculum. We don't view it as an elective. We don't view it as a sidekick, well, if we have time.
Right.
We really do view it. And you know what we're finding, Al, is we're finding in the music and the arts arena, there is no achievement gap. When Sue Castleman takes a look at grading artwork, it's graded without knowing who the student is or their background. It's amazing of how all of our students, all the subgroups, there is no achievement gap. And we need to take a lesson for that in terms of the importance of the arts and both performing arts and visual arts.
Also, another award, the Governor's Shine Award, was given to Lucas Hefty. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, remember Lucas Hefty was the Milken Award winner, the National Milken Award, one of only 35. So the governor was recognizing top educators across the state of Florida, and so he invited Lucas Hefty up to the cabinet, and it was a tremendous celebration that day. I have some pictures of that. And so, again, the Milken Award, as you remember, was one of those awards where they come and seek you. You don't apply, and for them to seek Pinellas County out, and also Lucas is a great celebration.
And math is one of those things, you know, I think that you either have a gift for teaching math or you don't, because math is one of those things that it's a building block type of education, and because I missed out on several of those early steps.
The early foundation.
Oh, yeah, we got to get into college, and man, I struggled like crazy. So congratulations to him.
Yes.
Palm Harbor, I know you've got what's called the Pinellas County Schools Parent University. Yeah. And you know, this is a plug for me. These are extremely helpful. Tell us about those.
Yeah, we're having a second parent university this year. We have 2 a year. We had one at Countryside in the fall, and we're having another one in the spring on April 22nd, Saturday, April 22nd. And it will be hosted at Gibbs High School. And so the concept behind Parent University is that parents come and they have a smorgasbord of a menu that they can choose from. If you have a child in elementary school, we have breakout sessions about elementary content and reading, math, what a parent should know. It's all geared towards parents. If your child is going from elementary to middle and you're really apprehensive about it, we have a transition year and to talk about the changes in middle school. If your child's going from middle to high school, we have another transition year. At Gibbs, we have a full clinic. We have athletic, we have doctors that are going to be there to do physicals and a lot of other services. We have what's called a mall area where the district staff will be. So if you have a question about transportation, the choice program, people will be there to answer questions. So it's a few hours. It's from like 8 to 12. I encourage parents to come out. Use Parent University as a way to get to know your school district and your school a little bit better. Yeah,
and we only got a minute left, and I kind of need a quick answer, but I always want to follow up on what are we doing for those low-performing schools. How's that going? Because I know a lot of people, we get all these great awards, but I don't want people to think that, oh boy, all we do in this program is talking about the great awards without dealing with some of the problem areas that I know that you're making progress on, though.
We're making tremendous progress. In fact, we just had the Apple Award a few days ago in St. Petersburg. We had 11 A schools in St. Petersburg. Our transformation zone schools, we're mapping out each quarter. Al, they're progressing beautifully. I mean, I envision that our last 2 remaining F schools will no longer be an F. I can't guarantee it, but I can tell you that there's a commitment there by teachers and students and parents. They've done a magnificent job this year. I would be very surprised if they don't. And we will be the first large district that will reach that milestone. And I just want to say thank you to the support of the faith-based community and the community at large for coming in. We have hundreds and hundreds of people mentoring our students.
Oh, that's great.
We're building a new Melrose Elementary School, $23 million. Now, I know the building isn't the thing that's going to make education different, but we're stabilizing that staff and that community for the first time ever in that neighborhood. And we're building a community center in that school so to bring that community in there. So we're making tremendous progress. I appreciate you to continue to bring that topic up because we do need to keep talking and giving our community updates on this.
All right, well that's great to hear progress on that. All right, that's it for right now, but we'll be back with more PCS Journal right after we take this short break.